Welcome to Pep Talk and Pickleball, the podcast where we explore empty nest life, health, fitness, and nutrition, all with a side of pickleball fun. I'm your host, Jill Lewis, your guide through this exciting phase of life. As a certified faster way to fat loss coach and fellow empty nester, I'm here to share insights, interview experts, and yes, sprinkle in some pickleball talk. Join me for weekly doses of motivation and laughter as we navigate health, happiness, and pickleball passion. Grab your paddle, join the conversation, and let's dive into Pep Talk and Pickleball. Welcome back to Pep Talk and Pickleball. This is your host, Jill Lewis. Thrilled that you're here with me today. I no idea what you're doing. Like maybe you're getting ready for work, maybe you're out on a walk, maybe you're driving in a car, you're prepping your dinner. Whatever it is, I'm just glad that you chose to spend some time with me. I enjoy talking with you about just various subjects that have to do with, being a woman. Maybe you're an empty nester, trying to be healthy, trying to be feeling good and confident in the second act of your life. And I just like talking about different topics that have to do with that. This one today is a little more introspective. I think it's a little more of a just kind of a check-in and just a societal topic, really, but definitely focuses on women. So today, this is something that's been on my mind lately, something I've really tried to work on about myself. And I'm just exploring the topic that I'm sure you've dealt with. Maybe you haven't given it a lot of thought, but it's women judging other women harshly. So before I even dive further into it, let me just say, I've done it. I definitely have harshly judged other women. And when I say judging women, I mean like holding women to a different standard than you hold men to. Okay. So I've done this countless times throughout my life. And I guess in the last year or two, I've really made a conscious effort to recognize when am I judging a female harsher than a male? And ultimately, I'm trying to stop doing that because like, why? I mean, I can be judgy with the best of them. I can surely be catty and, it's not a great attribute, but I've definitely flapped my jaw in the past. I've tried to, again, work on that. I'm still not perfect at it, but being harder on women than men is just insane to me the more I think about it. And I've also had it done to me like so many times. And something happens, I think. Something happens when you turn 50. You really just stop putting up with bullshit, And that's kind of what I think about this. So I thought today I'm going to bring up this topic, and maybe you can start reflecting on this phenomenon and just, I don't know, curious to hear when I'm finished what you think about it. But first, let's just explore, why might women hold other women to higher standards than they do men? It really is a multifaceted topic. And it touches on social psychology. It touches on cultural norms. And I mean, there's even historical contexts. You can look back on women like Joan of Arc. You can look back at Marilyn Monroe. Even currently, you could look at someone like Taylor Swift or an Anne Hathaway. All these types of people in pop culture or history have been judged quite harshly and held to a different standard than men. Okay. So, it kind of goes back a long way for sure. Let's talk about social norms and expectations. So women often grow up in environments where they're judged more harshly for our behavior, our appearance, and our choices compared to men. This conditioning leads to internalized biases where women subconsciously apply these stringent standards to other women. So think about it. Think about motherhood versus fatherhood. The stay at home versus working. That is something that has just been like, oh, it makes me crazy. So much judgment goes there. Or maybe even a better example would be like, think about a mom taking a girl's trip versus a dad taking a guy's trip. Nobody thinks about like a guy going on a golf trip, not a big deal. But like or dad going on a golf trip, but a mom going on, a girl's trip. I've seen other social media influencers get like currently getting hate on social media because they left their family and went to see Taylor Swift in Paris. Like, what are we doing? I mean, who cares? Let them live their life. Like that is a good thing. It's good for moms to get away and do things and let the family can run itself without mom there 24/7, just like a family can run without the dad there 24/7. So, oh, that always makes me nuts. Assertiveness is another one. A woman that is very assertive is deemed as what? Bossy. Men that are assertive are just go-getters. Think about the way that we dress. Women are so judged on how we dress versus men. A man doesn't go out at night and then if he gets say a man went out at night and he was leaving a bar and he got attacked or was in the bar and got, assaulted or something like that. No one's like wondering what the man was wearing, but like with the women, females and our female bodies and what we wear, we're getting totally judged on, what kind of outfit did she have on? I mean, it's crazy. Think about weight. I mean, how much a female weighs. We are judged more harshly on, well, for example, a dad's body, like the dad bod, that is trending. Like a dad bod is trending, but women having a mom bod, I mean, no, ma'am, like no one is finding a mom bod sexy, but yet we find a dad bod sexy. Like, oh my gosh, it makes me nuts. And then age, you can just look at like the whole standard, at least in the US, is for sure. Like as a man ages, he becomes just, he's like a silver fox, right? He's more dapper looking. As a woman ages, I mean, no one is saying that about her, And then you've got, well, like look on TV. I was watching golf with my husband recently, and I said to him, the commentator was a former professional golfer, and he was, the person that was talking on the camera. And I said, look at him. I mean, no, it's fine that he is obviously aging. He's got this huge double chin. He's got these hooded eyes. But you are not going to see an aging female on ESPN or another sports network that has the huge bags under her eyes and a big stomach. I mean, it's just not going to happen, right? And then relationships. You can look at relationships and how men, if they have numerous sexual partners, I mean, they're a stud. If a woman would have numerous sexual partners, she's a slut. So these are all things that are like ingrained in our society. And I think that's where it ultimately starts. But there's cultural stereotypes. Traditional gender roles have historically emphasized qualities such as nurturance, modesty, and decorum for women, right? So these expectations then lead women to police other women's behaviors to ensure like conformity to these roles. So there's a lot of psychology involved in this, and it's evolutionary. This goes way back, but I do think it's interesting to think about, So again, evolutionary psychology. Theories suggest that intra-gender competition among women has evolutionary roots, where women compete for social standing and resources, including the attention of potential mates. So this can manifest as higher standards and harsher judgments towards other women. And then you've got the social comparisons. Women often compare themselves to other women in terms of appearance and lifestyle and achievements. And certainly social media platforms exacerbate this by providing a constant stream of curated images and updates, leading to feelings of inadequacy and competition. Now, switching gears, think about like in the professional world. I mean, the professional rivalries with women, I think is significant. In the workplace, women may compete for promotions, recognition, opportunities, sometimes feeling that they need to outshine their female colleagues to succeed in perhaps a male-dominated environment. So this workplace competition, where women might feel that they need to prove themselves more than their male counterparts, they can be harder on other women, either as a way to minimize competition or to then align themselves with a predominantly male standard in the workplace. Like they want to align themselves with the cool kids, and then in the workplace, there's gatekeeping. Women in positions of power might feel the need to be gatekeepers, enforcing strict standards on other women to gain acceptance and credibility in male dominated fields. And this has happened to me. An example, if you start training with a new company and the person that's supposed to be training you actually doesn't make it easy for you at all, kind of leaves out information, doesn't give you all of the best practices or kind of inside tips, that is some gatekeeping going on. And I know that happens. Let's talk a little bit about internalized misogyny. So this hatred of women, like why would women, feel that towards other women? Well, it's internalized misogyny refers to the subconscious adoption of sexist attitudes by women themselves. So not even that you meant to do this, but that you just subconsciously took those things I was talking about earlier, judging women on, the double standard there on weight and aging and relationships and the clothing that you're wearing. Just subconsciously, this is out there in society, but you have just subconsciously adopted these sexist attitudes. So growing up in a patriarchal society, women unsubconsciously perpetrate these values, holding each other to higher standards and enforcing traditional norms. And the media doesn't help, right? Media often portrays women in competitive and judgmental roles, reinforcing these stereotypes that women are naturally harsher on each other. Reality TV, for instance, like The Housewives, they depict women in conflict all the time, which can influence societal perceptions and behaviors. And yes, I still watch those shows. Okay. What I think we really got to talk about, though, is self-esteem and validation. So for me, what I see and what I've observed and what I have felt myself is that women might hold other women to higher standards as a way to validate their own choices and self-worth. So low self-esteem can drive you to be overly critical of other women as a way to cope with your own insecurities. So think about this, like if you feel inadequate or unsure of your worth, you could project these feelings onto others to deflect attention from your own perceived shortcomings. So by highlighting the flaws and mistakes of other women, you might temporarily boost your own self-esteem, creating a false sense of superiority. But this behavior stems from a need to affirm your value by contrasting it with the perceived inferiority of others. So this cycle of criticism, though, it often backfires and it deepens your own insecurities and perpetuates a negative self-image, honestly. So low self-esteem can cause you to view other women as threats or rivals rather than allies. I find this to be like a real thing, So if you feel like you see another woman succeeding at something, trying something, and then you immediately feel snarky about that. It's like, why? She's doing something great and her doing something new, interesting, whatever, has no reflection on you and what you're doing. But somehow, because of this negative self feelings that we have, we tend to view it that way, right? So that competitive mindset, it fosters an environment where, we feel that we must diminish others in order to succeed. So when a woman lacks confidence in her abilities or worth, she might believe that the success of another woman is just highlighting her own failures. And as a result, she may hold others to, unattainably high standards or to be overly judgmental, hoping to validate her own choices and capabilities. So I think this is really something that has to start with moms and grandmothers, like teaching then, the younger generation about just to, say it's kind of like this example I used to tell my kids, if I was bragging on one of my kids, immediately another kid would be like, oh, well, what about me? And da 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 da. And I'm like, well, that I'm not saying anything negative about you. I'm just highlighting something great that, this one did. But that has no reflection on you whatsoever. Me complimenting one child doesn't mean I'm putting down another child. It's just a compliment. It's just an observation. I think you're all wonderful, So I think it's kind of the same thing, with women. Like, has your husband ever complimented a female and then like you immediately internalize that about yourself? Because I've done that before, and you're like, okay, this is a dumb example and I'm sure I don't even know if this has happened, but Randy might say, so and so, man, does she have a great golf swing? And immediately in my mind, I'm like, my golf swing sucks. Like it's terrible, and immediately I'm put on the defense, which is so insane. He's just putting out positivity into the world. And why am I bringing it back to myself as negativity? So again, I think it's just verbalizing this and then when noticing when this happens to just bring awareness to it, So some examples, you guys, I have talk about judgment. I early on in my adult life, well, I had my kids in my 20s. So I guess I was in my 30s when this happened. This is so crazy. So I don't even want to like put this into the universe because I kind of forgot about it until I was preparing this. But, I would drop my kids off at school and then I would go work out right afterward. And I guess I was ahead of my time because I used to wear workout clothes like everybody does now. Everyone wears workout clothes everywhere. But back then, I guess I was abnormal in that I, didn't put on regular clothes and then go change after I dropped my kids off. I would just put on my workout clothes. I would take my kids to school and then head to the gym. But at that point, I guess one year my daughter was in pre-K and I had to walk her in. So she's probably like 5 years old. So this was 16-ish years ago. So I'm like walking her into school, I guess, and back to my car. I get a letter, a typed letter from a psycho person telling me that everybody at my kid's school is laughing at me behind my back because of what I was wearing. Again, I was wearing, and like, I don't show like midriff and, I mean, I'm not working out with like my boobs hanging out, So I don't really understand. I think like by the standards of the workout clothes today, it was pretty modest. Maybe I was wearing shorts that were too short for her, but I mean, come on. So anyway, yeah, I got a letter telling me that I was an embarrassment and, just that everyone was laughing at me behind my back and just how offensive it was and whatever. I mean, it really was like so shocking. I thought it was like my friends playing a prank on me. And then I realized it wasn't. And I mean, I will say for a couple of days, it got in my head. I haven't thought about that in years, but like, what are we doing? Another example I had, this is just, women judging women way too harshly or just making comments. Like one time I had an extended family member, a female, say that, when I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. And in a passing comment, she said, "Oh, I bet your dad's thrilled that he paid for, a private college education and you're just a stay-at-home and now you're a stay-at-home mom." And it's like, okay, did that make you feel better saying that? Like, wow. Shots fired. Another example, I mean, there's countless examples on social media. You can't even begin to imagine. But on Instagram, I'll get comments about my appearance and that sort of thing. And I'm like, one of the comments was, like, I'm not as fit as I think I am. How rude. And I was just like, wow, well, I feel pretty damn good. I mean, sorry, sorry, I'm so confident. And there's a comedian, Heather McDonald, who I think she's so funny. And she comes across that a lot, these women that are just get so irritated at her because she's so confident. And that's what she said. She's like, what she's realized is that her confidence is what's truly bothering these other women. And I'm like, you know what? I think you're right. I think there's something about that goes back to that insecurity that I was talking about. And I'm not perfectly secure. Of course, I have my own insecurities and things, but I'm just trying to bring this to light so that women can just treat each other, a little bit better, right? I mean, I'm curious what you think, but whenever I see a woman, I've really been working on this. And maybe this is just something that should just be ingrained in me, but it's not. So this is what I do. But I always try to compliment a female, whether it's a friend or a stranger, when I see them immediately, like on at least one thing. Like if I'm checking out at the grocery store, or if I'm ordering food at a restaurant, or if I'm at a party, I want to say something like, "Oh my gosh, your nails. I love your nails." Or that outfit is so cute. Those shoes are amazing. Um, your hair looks so good, or your skin looks so good. I mean, something like that. And obviously, if they've done something kind, I want to, or if it's something that they've done with work, I want to, not just talk about the physical things. I want to talk about all aspects of them. But I always just like to compliment another female. Women put a lot of effort into their life, into this world. And I think we should just recognize that, like in the faster way, we talk about community over competition. I mean, we're all just trying our best. So community over competition. Anyway, after this break, we're going to switch gears and talk a little bit about pickleball and golf fashion. Got pickleball FOMO? Don't you worry, I've got you covered. Whether you are new to the sport or looking to up your game, I'm here to help. Hey, Empty Nesters, as a nutrition and fitness coach who's totally obsessed with pickleball, I've put together a free Pickleball 101 guide just for you. In this guide, you will discover the basics of the game. I'm going to simplify the rules for you. I'm going to give you some nutrition tips to fuel your matches and workout routines that are specifically tailored to pickleball, and some more insider secrets to help you ace on the court. Ready to join the pickleball craze and stay fit while having a blast? Click on the link in today's show notes to grab your free pickleball guide. Okay, we're back to Pep Talk and Pickleball, and finally talking about a little bit of pickleball, and want to talk about pickleball fashion. Okay, so I have finally found the cutest pickleball and golf outfits. I am thrilled because I think I've talked about this before. I like the simple. I don't want to look like a clown wearing a million colors. I want basics. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I have found the Holy Grail. I'm thrilled. And I hope that these are still in stock when this episode comes out so you can shop them. I'm going to link them in the show notes below because they do come from multiple retailers. I have found some sleeveless tops that I'm obsessed with and some skirts that are so freaking cute. And you have no idea how happy this makes me because I'm starting to panic. I was really starting to worry. You see women's golf and tennis clothes and pickleball clothes, and you're like, I don't know. Let's just say it looks like a bag of M&Ms, like every color splashed everywhere. And don't get me started on the insane patterns. One trip into a PGA store and you're going to know what I'm talking about. And I just happen to think, first of all, if that's your style, and that is fine. You do you, right? But for me, if I was going to put that on, I feel like I would look like a crazy person, and I don't want to look like a crazy old lady. Like I want to I want to look cute. And I'm sorry. That's how I feel about it. But at age 50, I'm not ready to wear those insane patterns and colors out there. So if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, I think you're going to absolutely love these. So a rundown of my favorite pickleball brands so far. So I'm really like wearing the Asics or the Wilson shoes. Now, the Asics, if you have a wide foot, I don't think that's the brand for you. My foot is more on the narrow side. They fit me really well. They're comfortable. Same with the Wilsons. I adore my Carbon paddle, CRBN. I have the Carbon 2 Pro Series. Freaking love it. It's by far my favorite paddle. And this is like probably the 4th or 5th paddle I've owned. I've been using it for a year now and I absolutely adore it. As far as apparel goes, I like, Lululemon, of course, Viori, Vuori, Viori, and Athleta. For golf, I love the Lululemon tops, but I also have found Travis Matthews and Peter Millar. So Peter Millar is so pricey. It's dumb. Like it makes me mad that it's so expensive. But if you find it at the end of season sales, that is the way to go. if you get on their website and you see that on sale, get it and buy it and you will love it. I mean, it's probably my favorite golf wear I have, but again, so pricey. I can only like get it twice a year. But yeah, the Travis Matthews has a ton of men's, like my husband wears a lot of the men's stuff, but they are coming out slowly but surely with women's clothing that I really like. And the fabric is amazing. But I have to say, playing golf now is making me insane. I want to love it so much, but I'm just not that good. And it really hurts my ego so bad to be so bad at something. I did get a new set of Callaway clubs. So I'm committed. Your girl is committed. We've invested in the new clubs. And so I'm going to play. And I just want to say it's a painful process. From what I'm observing though, I'm starting to think that it never gets better, because my husband has been playing since he was a little kid. He played college golf. He played at the University of Illinois, and used to play in a lot of amateur tournaments and things. And it's still painful for him. And so I'm like, why is this fun? But it is. I'm just telling you, you get that one good drive and you're like, yes, there really isn't a better feeling than sinking a long putt. Not that I do it often, but I've done it once or twice, or making a par is thrilling for me. I've made a couple of birdies, thrilling. But yeah, having a great drive. I mean, I think that's like the best ever. My daughter's been home this month before she starts her internship in Texas, and she has been a joy to play with, like so composed, doesn't really get upset about bad shots, likes to listen to music, which is so fun. I love that that's kind of the vibe where golf is going. It's like, let's make it a little more casual, listening to music. I personally enjoy that. I don't like it blaring, but I do just like, let's keep it upbeat, so we can listen to Taylor Swift together or whatever she wants. And then she just keeps it light. And man, does she have a good swing. Another reason why to teach your kids the hand-eye sports when they're young. Kids, or if you have grandkids that are young, take them out, get them practicing, because I do think with her confidence, her just knowing that she could walk on any golf course, and I think anyone would enjoy playing with her, gives her just kind of a leg up, a little confidence there. And I do think that golf is having kind of a comeback. It's kind of like in again. It kind of went down for a while, but yeah, it's kind of fun for her to have that little, I don't know, just fun for her to have that little pep in her step when she goes out onto a golf course, knowing that, she can be confident doing it. So, and like I said, it's really hard. It's really hard. Pickleball is going pretty well. Yes, I still wish I was better. That's what I was laughing. I was telling my husband, I said, like I'm, average at pickleball. And then now, like the other day I had a bad day on the golf course, and I said, I'm a terrible golfer and I'm a mediocre pickleball player. Like, what is the deal? I need to feel really good about something I'm doing. He's like, you're a great mom and wife. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you. But, pickleball is going fine. I've been playing with some incredible players in Southern Illinois in the mornings, which has been really fun. And I hope to continue be able to do that, because I do think the better caliber players that you play with, the better your game's going to get. And of course, drilling. That is something that I have got to start doing. Games are just so fun. And me getting out there and just practicing drilling, like I just need to do it. I got to find a drilling partner. So I got to get one of my gals, and we're just going to get after it. So anyway, lots of fun, all good things, being active. Man, I'm telling you, the pickleball and now the golf has truly helped me in this new stage of life to A, meet new people, but B, keep my mind busy. There's such great sports, mental and physical, and that especially the pickleball, just the quickness of it. It's just so good for me. And I really don't know what I did with my life before pickleball. Now that my kids aren't here, it just came into my life at the perfect time. So if you haven't played, definitely grab that Pickleball 101 guide and get to it. I know you're going to love it. And for all of those clothing items I was talking about, I will put those in the show notes for you. All right. You have a great day, and talk to you soon.